Okay, so in the previous section we had studied about how to calculate the filter coefficients of FIR filter. Now in this section we are going to study how to calculate the filter coefficient using for a IR filter. So when it comes to IR filter, there are two methods available to find out the filter coefficient, and that is impulse invariant method and a bilinear transformation method. So what we are actually trying to do in the case of impulse invariant method and bilinear transformation method is that here we are trying to design the IR filter in such a way that we start with the analog transfer. We start designing an analog filter that satisfies the specification that has been given, and then we try to convert it into its equivalent digital filter. Now let us see how these problems are solved in the case of using the impulse invariant method as to design a digital filter using impulse invariant method. So suppose they have given us an analog transfer function h of s as 1 upon s square plus 9s plus 18. In that case, what we do is that we try to factorize it in such a way that we can solve this problem using partial fraction, and then we can apply impulse invariant technique so that we can finally obtain the digital filter for this particular IR filters. That is to design a digital filter from this analog that satisfies the specifications that has been given. So given equation, that is analog transfer function h of s equal to 1 upon s square plus 9s plus 18, we try to find out the factors of it. In the question itself, they have given the time t x 0.2 seconds, so that comes into picture later on. Let us start with this, that is 1 upon, if we try to factor this, we get a factor says s plus 3, that is minus 3 and minus 6, 3 and 6, so we are going to factorize it 1 upon s plus 3 upon 1 upon s plus 6. Next step is to solve this problem using partial fraction method. So in order to solve it using partial fraction method, it's a normal method that we make use of 1 upon s plus 3 plus c2 upon s plus 6. Now we need to find out what is the c1 and c2. In order to find out this c1, what we can do is that we can multiply and divide both sides by s plus 3 into s plus 6. That is the LCM also, or multiply by s plus 6 and set s equal to minus 6. So in this case, we can use the similar method. That is h of s equal to 1 upon s plus 3 into s plus 6. On top also it will be s plus 3 into s plus 6, which is equal to c1 upon s plus 3 into s plus 3 into s plus 6 plus c2 upon s plus 6 into s plus 3 into s plus 6. So these things are going to get cancelled out, and we are setting s equal to minus 3. So in this case, everything is going to get cancelled out. We are going to end up with c1 s into bracket, that is 3, and this term, when you are going to put s equal to minus 3, c2 term is going to become 0. So we get c1 as 1 by 3. In same fashion, we can calculate the value of c2, that is again multiply both sides by the same, the LCM, and we are going to end up with the answer of c2 as again 1 by 3. You can just try it out. You are going to end up with the answer of c2 also as 1 by 3. I am not showing it for c2, I have already shown you for how to calculate for c1. That is substituted back over here. We are going to end up with the answer of 1 by 3. Sorry, we are going to end up with c2 as minus 1 by 3. So just you can check it out later on. So it becomes 1 by 3 into 1 upon s plus 3 minus 1 upon s plus 6. So what I have done is that c1 is 1 by 3, c2 is also 1 by 3, they are minus 1 by 3. So I have taken 1 by 3 common, and then we can write it in this particular format. Now in order to convert this analog transfer function into its equivalent digital form, we use the impulse invariant formula that has been given as c upon s minus p. We write it as 1 upon 1 minus e raised to, so this is pi ci, so this ci upon 1 minus e raised to pit z inverse. So every term of this particular form is going to get converted to this, and that is going to give us the digital transfer function of the equivalent analog transfer function that has been given. So I have this part, and I will show you the further calculation how to do it. Okay, so in this case, these two things are exactly similar to what I have written on the board, that is in the case of impulse invariant method. So we can directly write it as 1 upon 1 minus e raised to c. This pi is the poles, and this pole in this case is minus 3, and pole in this case is minus 6. So we are going to end up with the answer of 1 minus e raised to minus 3 t z inverse minus 1 upon Z inverse. Now this t comes into picture, that is given in the main question, that is t is 0.2 seconds. So when we are trying to substitute it there, we are going to get 1 upon e raised to minus 3 into 0.2 Z inverse minus 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus 6 into 0.2 Z inverse. So after simplifying it, we are going to get the answer as 1 upon 1 minus 0.55 Z inverse, that is e raised to minus 3 to 0.2. We are going to get the answer as 0.55, and in this case it is 1 upon 1 minus 0.3 Z inverse. Next step is to just cross multiply this, and we need to simplify it so that we can get a final answer of h of z. So when we are trying to do this, this is nothing but h of z. We had started with h of s, that is the analog transfer function. Using impulse-signal method, we have found out the equivalent digital transfer function, that is h of z, after applying that formula. So when we are trying to apply that formula, this thing is get transformed to this, and we get a h of z. So after simplification, I will show you what we get exactly. It comes to, you can just cross multiply it and take the LCM. You are going to get the answer as 0.083 Z inverse divided by 1 minus 0.55 Z inverse into 1 minus 0.3 Z inverse. So this is our h of z. That is the equivalent digital transfer function of an analog filter.